So, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to our Sacred Sunday Spiritual Circle. Let us begin with greeting the beautiful soul. Let us meet each other in the eye. Fully welcoming this sacred space. And this beautiful heart smile. We're so grateful to celebrate March 1st, the almost spring coming. And our dear, dear special guest, Bill Sanda. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be here with us today.
We thank all of you guys for taking this Sunday to be. We just feel so grateful that we can share this sacred heart space. We can all come together to really receive the beautiful divine messages that all come forward. So we cannot be more grateful for each of your beautiful sacred presence, because all of it comes together to bring forth the energies that are already here moving. Thank you so much.
And the purpose of this, some of you have been here, many, many gatherings with us, and we welcome some of the new, beautiful community of guys that is joining us, is to just gather, to sit back and relax and receive. Really allow your heart to receive. There's no institution here. There's no agenda. There's no programming. There's no religion. It's a very free space. And it's really a heart space where we get to share what we have received as we have prepared ourselves from the blessing that has bestowed upon us, that has really touched us, and we can pass it on to you so you can be lifted. And you also take this, whatever you receive, vibrate it back out in your community today, tomorrow, next day, and allow that true energy to continue to bless you forward, because we are beautiful, abundant beings, and these blessings are to open inside of us and bless everyone. So thank you so much. Thank you. So I have my new device here. I'm so proud of it that I get to do this, as Michael has his thing. It's so wonderful that I get to do this. You're ascending, right? Knowledge is part of ascension, isn't it? Isn't it truly? So I'll leave this until I cut it off and then. So ascension, this journey, are moving from one place of consciousness to another state of consciousness. And it's been a heck of a journey, hasn't it been? Right? We've been kicking and screaming some days. We've been drowning other days, right? And we've been just pure, angry, and then at the same time blissed out, ecstatic. Isn't it just a total madhouse, like madness? But it has to be mad enough. You know that phrase that says, you have to be so mad enough to be out of your mind. You have to be crazy enough to be out of your mind. Because that's exactly what it is. We got to be out of our mind to be in our heart, to discover all that has always been, that has always been. All thoughts, all imaginations, all visions, all creations has already been, will always be. But we can access it when we come here. And we allow ourselves to relax in the presence that is present, really present. Some of you have heard me talk about this. What is present? What has been sent before? It's been sent from above, from our spiritual team. We each have a ginormous team. If you dare to give yourself permission just to sit with your team, you'll be dazzled. You won't be able able to handle holy heavens. I have 1,000 angels first on my team, and I have like 500 dragons, and there's several unicorns. Yes, there are. There are. They're delicious too. And then I have like all these ancestors. Then these spirit guardians. Those I never knew. They're all these joyful. Do you know each of you have numerous just joy guides? Do you know your joy guides? I haven't. Some you know? Yeah. Out of nowhere, there are these joy guides assigned to you just to be able to help you experience joy. So some days, for example, like today, you're driving and the sun is really radiating, and suddenly, I remember you hear the sound of a little bird, and it's that spout of that energy of spring you begin to feel, right? And for no reason, you start to feel a little bit joy. Did anybody feel that today coming? Yeah, a little bit. And so guess what? The joy guides are around. And the joy guides are like, yes! And then they're able to enter. And they're able to lift you. And they're able to just experience joy with you. One of my little joy guides is this cute little girl named Lilybell. She is red hair. She has braids like this, freckles everywhere, red hair. And she's so cute. And all she wants to do is to play. And I understand why she's one of my joy guides. And that has been a big part of me remembering to play. Why? So I can remember who I really am as a true, joyous, radiant spirit. We as the human construct are inside our spiritual body. We're literally sitting inside our spiritual body. That's about 6 to 9 feet wide in this way, this way, this way, and this way. So if you can imagine how ginormous your spiritual body is, just the ones that you can sort of tap into, and then it goes beyond. So within that presence, at the nucleus level, is this little presentation. But guess what? We forget to embrace this fully, right? We forget to have fun with it, dance with it, celebrate with it. Because at the center of nucleus, like our cells, right? What's always dancing? Energy. What is it? Electrons are dancing. If the electrons are not dancing, what happens? We're not informed anymore. Right? So there's an intelligence between the positive and the negative ions in our cellular functioning that is always dancing, because the positive ions don't want to be too positive. Why? Because they will create oxidization in the body. And the negative ions want to alkaline it, but they don't want it too alkaline either. There's a balance. And they want to take care of this nucleus. So our spiritual body, etheric body, mental body, emotional body wants to take care of this sacred vessel. But do we look at ourselves in that sacred way, in that micro to macro cosmic consciousness? Because if you're really taking care of this, we're really taking care of that. And if you're really taking care of this, then we're really taking care of this. That song, what is that song? That rap song is coming to me. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. A few years ago, it's like I'm hearing it. So that's the gift of being able to fully embrace the inner and the outer. And within this ascension journey, we have this inner and outer, and then we have these waves of coming really in and deeply coming into ourselves in this winter energy, diving so deep inward, going into that cocoon space, feeling the depth of our inner world, what some call it the dark space, but they're kind of scared of that word that has become sort of associated with something negative. But that inner cocoon space allows you to stay in a place so that you can rise again. Today we're experiencing a bit of that rise, right? The rising, the spring energy. We can feel the nature within our own nature. All the work that's been done in the flowers and the trees and the plants and the grass, they're not being dead. There is no such thing as death. That is continuously eternal. So there's all that deliciousness taking place underneath, so it can sprout, so that we, in that reflection, can also be rejoiced, celebrated by that presence, which in our consciousness we embrace it as the I am. So in this dark cocoon space, life has presented to us many opportunities to fall. If you're not willing to go deep inside, guess what? We're going to have these things called falls. So we can go in, meet the deliciousness. At first it doesn't feel delicious. Seriously, like the ear infection, all this I had, it wasn't fun at all. But I feel so rejuvenated. I feel so elated with all that took place as a result of this thing that was clogged. That so-called was also ear infection, but everything else that came out of it. So sometimes we don't necessarily go into that place because we either don't know or not willing. But universe is always for us. Universe allows us to go deep so we can sit in that place, so we can rise again and again and again in our own resurrection. There's no greater gift that we give to ourselves and to others by standing in the presence of our own resurrection. From that darkness that we tapped into, that we fell into, like literally a hole, and we pulled ourselves out of it. And aren't you always just so grateful after? Mm-hmm. That's that energy of gratitude. What is that? That's the ascension attitude. What is that? It's in the remembrance that I can, because I am. Because I'm already presented with all the gifts already given to me. There's nothing that I'm missing. Even when I fall down, I'll be able to rise back up. But I rise back up even greater, even stronger, even better, even more delicious, right? Yeah. So let us rise up for a moment. Let us feel this rise. Let us feel this illumination. So I want to get us into this for a moment. This beautiful decree of decrees are very important. When we do a decree, we're calling this out into the universe. And we're calling that out into the universe. We're going to own it. Because we are, by this power of the sound, we are claiming the divine sovereignty of the present that we already are. We're always looking for material present on the outside. But the inner calling is we want to present ourselves, the gift that we already are. So close your eyes and place your hands on your hearts. Right in the center. Come right in the center of your chest. Yeah, right in your heart chakra. That's where we really want to be. Take a deep breath in. And release out of your mouth first. And again. And let it go. And one more time. And let it go. Let me have you do one, make a little bit of a release sound. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Doesn't that feel better? Do you like that a lot? Do it again. Do it again. Let's do it. Let's do it. You're already feeling it. So relax in your knees. Relax. So I'm going to first do this prayer, which is calling to the illumination that we are. And I want you to really feel it into yourself. Really, really feel it. Then we go to do one decree from Saint Germain. A short one. Okay, feel into this. Beloved, I am presence, light of my soul. I call for the full power of sacred fire from the temples of illumination for full release of illumination flame through my entire consciousness, being and world to be released. I ask for the flame of illumination to blaze and transform all that would hinder the manifestation of love, wisdom, and power within and without my life stream and my ascension in the light. Breathe as I share this with you. Breathe in. I ask the masters of light to resurrect the memory of my true identity of divine and the blueprint of my divine path. By the flame of illumination, I call for the restoration of my full Christ consciousness as it was ordained by divine in the beginning of my descent into manifested form. I ask for the flame of illumination to descend and blaze divine wisdom into every cell of my being, into my crown chakra and all my other chakras. I ask the flame of illumination to reconnect me once again and forever to the present pure knowledge and universal mind and heart of divine. Breathe that in. Flood earth with illumination flame each moment of each day to show mankind their way back home. Beautiful and precocious golden flame, let thy light bring the end of separation in the consciousness of mankind for the manifestation of divine's holy presence and the return of the golden age of love and enlightenment. And so be it. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Breathe that in and breathe it out. Now, this illumination flame is the wisdom flame ray. It's a yellow golden flame. And this is when we allow our higher self to merge with our human self. So I ask you to place your hands upward now. Place it upward. Place it upward. So I ask you to feel into it and repeat after me first. I'm going to bring something first. So let us ask, as we say, let my higher self merge with my human self. You can repeat after me. Let my higher self merge with my human self. I call upon my I am presence to merge with my human presence.
I call upon my I am presence to merge with my human self.
I call upon my human self to merge with my I am presence.
I call upon my human self to merge with my I am presence.
I call upon my I am presence to merge with my human presence.
I call upon my I am presence to merge with my human presence.
I call upon my human self to merge with my I am presence.
I call upon my human self to merge with my I Am presence.
I call upon my I Am presence to step down and merge with my human presence.
I call upon my I Am presence to step down and to merge with my human presence.
I am present.
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 I am the present
I am the present
that I've waited for.
that I'm waiting for.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Breathe that in. Breathe it out. One more time. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. One more time. Breathe that in. And breathe it all the way out. And this invocation, we will just repeat it. It is a Saint Germain invocation, and it goes, I am the being of violet fire.
I am the being of violet fire.
I am the purity divine desires.
I am the purity divine desires.
So we're going to say this a few times, and I want you to really feel it, to build a little bit of this violet flame inside of you so it can transmute all that doesn't belong in your divine presence. So put your hands up and really feel it. So I am the being of violet fire.
I am the being of violet
I
fire.
am the purity divine desires.
I am the purity divine desires.
I am the being of violet fire.
I am the being of violet
I
fire.
am the purity divine desires.
I am the purity divine
I am
desires.
the being of violet fire.
I am the being of violet
I
fire.
am the purity divine desires.
I am the purity divine
I am
desires.
the being of violet fire.
I am the being of violet
I
fire.
am the beauty divine desires.
I am the beauty divine desires.
Okay, so couple more. We're gonna speed this up a little bit. So Bill, ready? So it goes, I'm the being of violet fire. I'm the beauty divine desires.
I am the beauty divine desires.
Okay, like, we're gonna do this together. Ready? Okay, here we go. I'm the being of violet fire. I'm the purity divine desires. I'm the being of violet fire. I'm the purity divine desires. I'm the being of violet fire. I'm the purity divine desires. I'm the being of violet fire. I'm the purity divine desires. I'm the being of violet fire. I'm the purity divine desires. I'm the being of violet fire. I'm the purity divine desires. I'm the being of violet fire. I'm the purity divine desires. I'm the being of violet fire. I'm the purity divine desires. I'm the being of violet fire. I'm the purity divine desires. I'm the being of violet fire. I'm the purity divine desires. Okay, you did well. You did well. Release it. Release that. Did it heat up?
Yeah.
Was there violet flame all around you, in you, all surrounding you? Feels warm, right? Thank you. One of the things with this particular decree, when you call upon your higher self and your I am, and you ask it to step down, and a couple of times you ask this to step up and merge, and you call upon the violet flame, and you ask for this purity flame that you are. But you repeat it and let it rise, let it rise, let it rise. You will engulf yourself with this violet transmutation frequency. And it transmutes all around. But the key is your voice. You allow it to rise and rise and rise and rise. Why? Because you're rising in your own resurrection flame. Any degree, any density, it's your job to transmute. Nobody else says. So you can only allow the presence that you are come and radiate. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yeah. Come on over, little. Would you like anything? Got it? Thank you. So,
Okay, great. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hi, thank you for being here today. Some of you I've met many times, some of you first time. My name is Bill Sanda, and we're going to have a talk about what you might call knowing love, for lack of a better term. Love that comes from knowing. Before I want to say though is that HoniB, I've heard so many times now what you're talking about, the reconnection of our divinity and our physical selves. Some people would call it a bridge of collaboration, where it's really essential that we bring both sides together and work together, not just one physical side or the other, the energetic side. And but that's really, really important. Anyway, love. Where do we normally look for love?
In other people.
Yeah, other people. What's missing?
Self-love.
Right. And if you look in definitions of self-love, usually it's kind of a negative connotation. Like it's narcissistic, it's self-absorbed, self-centered, but that's really what's missing, is the love of self. And all the work that I've done over the years with the Akashic Records, that comes up over and over and over again, self-love. And if we don't work on ourselves, I hate to use the word work on ourselves, but that we expand, we become knowing of who we truly are, you might say. That golden Buddha deep within, that we truly are, that we're whole and complete as we are. We forget about that. We think we need fixing, that we need to have something's missing, okay? Actually last November, actually in October, a dear friend of ours, Dominic Gabino, had passed away. I don't know if anybody knows Dom at all. Okay. I've known Don for a long time through different spiritual work that I've done. He and I have gone on many different collaborations together. He was an aerospace engineer, retired. His wife had passed away of Alzheimer's a year before. He passed away last October. And it was really sad. And his 3 daughters have a memorial service for him. Now, who would have thought that you would find your love of your life at a memorial service? But that's what happened. And I gave a eulogy, and I went into a bow tie, and when he was looking up, there were 3 stars on it, and I thought that was Dom, just a person. And so I gave the eulogy, and his daughter, Mary, his oldest daughter, had asked me to talk about his spiritual side. There were roughly 200 people in the room, 95% of whom were probably devout Christians, Catholics, Protestants, evangelicals, had no idea of his spiritual side. And so be careful what you ask for. So I went deeply into his spiritual side. And talking about he was ordained with MichaelA, and he and I have done work together with a channel energy called Czar, and so on and so forth. And I talked about all of that stuff, and I ended with so I did this chant, which is an earth-based chant. Earth calls itself Te Pua, and with all these people who had no idea what hit them. I mean, I did this for Dom. I did it for everybody there, for the fact that almost nobody there would have known or had any sense of his spiritual side. But people would have their reaction as they had their reaction, and I was not concerned about what I was doing there, because this is for Dom. So we did that, we finished. And at the end, we had a whole photo kind of collage of Dom's history from his family. And then we did a group of spiritual groups that we belonged to. We also did another collage for him. Carolyn was over there looking at that, but there was a lot of people. So she came over, I was standing up, and she came over to me. And then 2 mutual friends were with her too, Donna and Tina, and started chatting. And she said she liked my tie and that she liked the chant. What was about the chant that?
Oh, it wasn't just a chant. It was a wave of energy.
Wow.
We were sitting about the middle of the room, like he said, 200 people. And all of a sudden, we felt like we were on the beaches of Hawaii that he had just described with the ocean. Sent all kinds of energy to
Yeah. And like I said, most of the people there were just religion, not spiritual oriented, and so on. So we started talking, and she said, I like your tie, and I like the chant that you were doing, and we chatted, and she said, well, I want to invite you to what's called her Friendsgiving, which is a week before Thanksgiving. She had a lot of friends over, and I had my schedules open. I said, sure. But then her friends came over, Tina and Donna, and they were talking. If I do this right now, sort of anyway, it doesn't matter. And I had known Tina and Donna from another channel group from, I know Tom and Katie Hurt, who channel energies out in Gettysburg every Thursday evening. I had been there years before, hadn't seen them for quite a while. Tom also knew Dom, because Dom went to that particular channel evening also, along with working with the other energies, the Tsar energies and so on. And so you were introducing me to them. They said, oh no, we know Bill from prior times and he's whatever, and all that kind of stuff. So, but I could just, there's this magnet, you know, I just like, ooh, there was something about that energy with her. And we talked, we went to dinner afterwards. There's the whole group from the service went to a dinner, a pizza place in Manassas. And again, that energy, and it was just like palpable energy. And then we met, the next week, I invited her to come to York, PA. I was doing one of my Akashic record groups. And okay. And she had to rearrange the schedule, and some things opened up, so she was able to come. What was really interesting was that we had dinner afterwards, and sparks just started flying like crazy. You know, the kind of the moral of the story is that we knew once. Then a couple of weeks later, I went to her place, and then we've been together ever since. So this is a fairly new relationship, but it's one of what I would call knowing love. That is one that I just knew, and we just knew. There wasn't the mind games going on. Is she, you know, does she love me? She love me not? All that kind of good stuff. And what we realized was that we had to do our work. Otherwise, we never would have met. We had to do our own spiritual work, our own heart energy of self-love. That's why I brought up the term self-love, the word self-love. If we hadn't done that, each of us in our own way, that never would have happened. And we also knew that Dominic, was part and parcel to us getting together. We also knew that we were at a place where we could our energies were such that they were compatible. Energy reflects energy. So our energies reflected each other. Our heart energy reflected each other's heart energy. I didn't have to think about it. I just knew. And then Carolyn eventually knew. I think I was kind of like first with this one. And, but it was quick. And there's what's really beautiful about this is that it just came from pure energy, pure heart, and that we are love. You know, that love is not a feeling or an emotion, it's just who we are. It's that expression of who we are. And that's where the work with self-love comes in. If you're looking for something outside of you, it's not going to happen. Okay. And we're not taught that way. We're taught that, you know, you get a prescription, you get medications, and you take care of the symptoms. Or, you know, there's all these, you know, Match.com and all these different kind of match groups and so on, but you're not doing your internal work. If you're not doing your internal work, I don't care what or who, you know, what your expectations are, it's probably not going to happen. There was a great Saturday Night Live skit called, I had it now, I lost it. It was a spoof on Match.com and all those programs where you can try to find your happy mate, your soulmate, and so on. Anyway, the whole gist was that the spoof was that, God, I can't remember the name.
You could spoof it.
Anyway, but the spoof was that you just put up with what you get, as opposed to coming from the heart and who you truly are. So really, it's about knowing who you are first. It's not about looking outside of you. It's not about trying to find out this one or that one or that one or this one or so on. But it's really coming from you first, and then that will help manifest whatever. You know, in this case, it was spirit, it was Dom, it was our energies, all the confluence. And what's interesting is that if you look back over the history, you know, she started working with Tom and Katie, 2 years ago, something like that. And I knew them prior to that time. I hadn't been there for quite a while. But there's all that synergy, all the spirit working together to collaborate that we don't even know about. We had no idea this was going to happen. I wasn't looking necessarily. And who would have thunk at a memorial service that you would find the love of your life? It's like, okay. So I get the time.
Get the prayers.
Okay, so what I want to do is to show you, and we'll all work together on this chant that, so as you said, sent the waves through that room of 200 people. And this chant I learned in Hawaii in September, in the Big Island. This channel energy czar that I work with, I have since January 2012. We do annual retreat in October for a week or so. And we're all working, in all these, we're working with the earth. So this chant comes from the earth. It's called Teome Pua chant, and Teome Pua is a name that the earth calls itself, the earth voice. And this is in a language that is a precursor to human language. So it's not understandable, but what's important is the frequency of the words that we'll chant that connects us deeply with the earth. And we each leave a footprint on the earth. The earth knows us, the energy knows each of us. We have that energetic footprint. So, be conscious of how you're working and the energies that you are with the earth. So it's called Teome Pua chant. And it goes like this. Tanga Pue, Oala Heana, Heana Puite, Oaye To, Ko, Inahe, Waye O. And we do that 3 times. And there's movements for the body. I'm not going to, it gets confusing to do the movements and so on. But what we'll do is we'll do it 3 times. And I'll just say the first line, and then you will say it again, just like with what HoniB was doing. And you can stand up. I'm getting my head cut off here. And I'm not going to go through the movements because it gets, like I said, it's a little complicated. So I'll go through it again. The first line is Tanga Pui.
Tanga Pui.
Oala.
Oala.
Hey Allah.
Hey Allah.
Hey Allah.
Hey Allah.
Puite.
Puite.
Owaye To.
Owaye To.
Ko. Inahe.
Ko. Inahe.
Waye O.
Waye O.
You guys are beautiful. So we'll do it 3 times again. I'll do it first, and then we'll follow through. And I'll go through the movements. So I'll do the movements along with, so you can see what the movements look like. Yeah, it's actually the first movement is most important because it's your left foot and then your right foot, and then we're really connecting with the earth that way. You don't have to worry about it. So we'll go like this. Tanga Pui. Tanga Pui. Oala Heana.
Oala Heana.
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 Puite.
Puite.
Waye To.
Waye To.
Go. Inahe.
Ko. Inahe.
Waye O.
Waye O.
So what's happening here is we're actually we're going with the sky, the earth, and this is the water, the waves, back into our heart energy. That's just the movements, and that's what the whole theme is, that we're actually working with the sky, the earth, the water, and that's what we did in Hawaii. We did this in the water when we were snorkeling. We did this on the volcanic black beaches on the Big Island, which is almost all volcano, all volcanic ash. And then we did it with the earth, earth, the water, and the sky. And we actually at the observatory near Mauna Kea, which is the clearest place on earth, where they have all these big observatories and so on. So it's an amazing sky. It's so clear up there. So we're doing that to the earth and all the different aspects of connecting with the earth. So let's do that again. Tanga Pui.
Tanga Pui.
Oala.
Oala.
Hey Allah.
Hey Allah.
Puite.
Puite.
Waye To.
Waye To.
Ko.
Ko.
Inahe.
Inahe.
Waye O.
Waye O.
Tanga Pui.
Tanga Pui.
O Allah,
O Allah,
Eyana,
Eyana,
Uite,
Uite,
Wayeto,
Waeto,
Go, Inahe,
Ko Inahe,
Wayeo,
Waeo,
Tunga Pui,
Tanga Pui,
O Allah, Eyana,
O Allah, Eyana,
Eyana Puite,
Eyana Uite,
Wayeto,
Waeto,
Go, Inahe,
Ko Inahe,
Wayeo,
Waeo,
Tunga Pui,
Tanga Pui,
O Allah, Eyana,
O Allah, Eyana,
Wa
Second hand.
Eyana Puite,
Eyana Uite,
Wayeto,
Waeto,
Go, Inahe,
Ko Inahe,
Wayeo.
Waeo.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill, for your beautiful message.
You're welcome.
It's wonderful when you can bring the spirit into the presence because we can really feel the ignition of it. The fire. It's always amazing what messages come through. For those that are new, Honey and I, and the guest speaker, we never express, but somehow we read it through. And so before I get into the messages for today, have ever you guys experienced where the universe, source, divine, starts little beliefs, little messages? I kind of describe it as like, you know, when you have the most delicious dessert, and you just have a little bite of it. But you don't get to finish all of it. You just have a little bite, and somehow the weight of it takes away. Or maybe you're dreaming, and you have this amazing dream. And you wake up and like, wow, I just had this amazing dream, this enlightenment, but you don't remember it. Right? Like all of a sudden, there's like, I was just talking to the angels, and they were giving me all these messages, and before I know it, you wake up and like, just wait a minute, I was so close to feeling it. So these past couple of weeks, past couple of months, there's been these little messages coming through. And they're simple messages. I love what you said about love because this is what we really embrace about it. Whether it's been my father, whether it's been angels, whether it's been guides, there's been one message that keeps coming forward. Before I get into that message, we realize that 2020, 2020, what does that mean? We are seeing it is here for our relationship within ourselves. This year, out of all years, is really bringing the full mirror of ourselves. There's no escaping it. We're in beautiful winter time. How many people have been going through some serious, shit? How much stuff has been coming up? We've been feeling all this stuff coming up, right? Right? Where we can't hide it anymore. It's actually right in our face and we can't run away, right? And no matter what we do, it keeps coming up and keeps showing. So these messages that keep coming forward. The other day, I'm sitting there in prayer. My dad says, "Are you listening to your heart?" 1 week ago, I was sitting in prayer. Beautiful power Isis came through. And she goes, "What is within your heart?" Little snippets. Honey, sometimes when that ear is clogged, filled with non-infection wax, of course, my smart ass says, "Are you listening?" Which of course I get it right back. And this message keeps coming forward about the heart going within. Because I know growing up, I've been that one always looking out around the world, looking for the guru, looking for the monastery, looking for the teacher, just to show me what is out there. But I keep going back and saying and hearing, it's within the heart. Last night at an event, my mom said something very important. She goes, I just keep getting the message. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. So this morning, as I usually do, we sit in prayer and we're just listening. What are we going to say today? We're just going to bring it forth. And then finally, those little snippets of message came through in a long message. You know what I received from beautiful Dad? Thank you. The journey of life is through our hearts. Really listen to that. The journey of life is through our heart. When we look at every deity, every master, every being, do you know where they're pointing to? They're pointing to their heart. Why? Because it's within is where we are at our fullness of divine expression. Love. Thank you. It is within love that allows us to be the fullness of our expression. Sometimes what have we been doing? What I know I have been doing. Just ask honey what I've been doing these past couple of weeks. I've been coming through my mind. Because what I love what Bill said, knowing love. When someone says, do you know love? Well, yes, there's this intuitive heart sensation, knowing love. But does the heart know love or does it feel love or experience love, right? That love is what I love you said, it's beyond anything. It's a beyond emotion. It's an experience. We can't know love. We can only embody it. And where does that come? It comes through our heart. Everything that we're experiencing, it comes directly through our heart, which means all the beautiful pain, all the beautiful suffering, all the good, all that has to come through the heart as well, right? Because what we're experiencing in life is our greatest expression of ourself, love. And yet sometimes we don't feel it because what's sitting on top of our heart? Pain. What happens when we want to awaken our heart? Sometimes the car goes flying off and hits a tree. I honor our dear sacred Debbie June. Awakens the heart. Sometimes we have to hit the lowest possible scenario for our heart to go shh, right? We have to hit our lowest. Love what you said, honey. We have to fall to the ground for our heart to fully open up, right? No better in wintertime. Best time. That we're all trying to escape and go to good, beautiful Miami and get some nice color and feel the warmth because we know winter times, especially in the Mid-Atlantic. Sometimes we have to fall and we have to hit rock bottom. So as these messages were happening the past couple of weeks, we had this conversation this morning, so I'll just be open, raw, and real. So honey and I, when we go to bed, there's just a lot of things happening in our dreams, in our galactic, and there's just many things happening. She's tossing and turning. It might be just, a family tradition that you guys just don't sleep. Really. I'm the type of person where I need sleep. When I don't get sleep, I turn to a monster. I really turn to that like grizzly. So we're having these conversations of how not to let that lower mind get lost and how to have the higher heart to fully express what we're coming through. So these past couple of weeks and mornings, which yes, there's that little guest room over there that I sneak off in the middle of the night when it gets really bad. But I'd rather be with my beloved. What have I been doing? I have been doing first thing in the morning when I'm exhausted, when I'm tired, when I'm irritable, I go directly into my heart. I start breathing. And I just start feeling that space of the heart before the mind can even start to judge, before it starts to think, before I'm worried about how much sleep I didn't get, before I even want to point the finger at honey and say, honey, what's happening? I go right within my heart. And I just start breathing. And I just start feeling that love within my heart. I just start imagining, even if I have to go up and beyond and imagine myself in beautiful Hawaii on a wave. Whatever it is, I just start feeling love any which way possible. We all know that because what the exercise I'm going to do today is I want you to bring this image of love, feeling of love, whatever you feel into your heart. And guess what starts happening when I go directly in my heart and start embracing this love, and start feeling this love, and start embodying this love? Guess what starts to happen? No longer am I irritable about the lack of sleep. No longer am I angry that Honey is tossing and turning because she's having galactic dreams and probably fighting some galactic war in the empires of who knows what, because I'm blessed to have my ability. That feeling of love all of a sudden starts to create this space within me that opens me, that relaxes me, that softens me, and just allows this softening before each day. And I can't express deeper when we give that opportunity, because I know that we're on the brink right now, the brink of really experiencing the fullness of our heart, the majestic, the magic. There's so much within our heart that is here for us to fully embody. I truly feel and believe from what I hear from the masters, the wonderful conversations with my father, everything within life, everything that you need, every single answer, every element is within the heart. Let me just feel that real quickly. Everything you need to know, every possible dream, every desire, just breathe that in. It's in the heart. It's already there. It's before us, awaiting within our journey. And when we give that recognition, and we give that space, and we allow ourselves to act from the heart, to lead from the heart, to choose from the heart, then the most magical expression of ourselves comes forward. I would love to say I'm a master of it. I'm still at a beginning level every day that I come back. Each morning I go back into my heart and look at where within myself can I expand that? Where can I allow myself to direct that love within the pains of my body, within the judgments of myself, within where I'm holding stress, worry, anxiety, so that I can feel that love? Because you know, when you experience that love within your heart, it is the most blissful divine experience. It allows us to feel our infinite, eternal nature, that which we are. That magnificence that each of you are, that greatness, that beauty, that perfection each of you are, is in that beautiful heart. And all we have to do each day is honor it, celebrate it, respect it. That in our self-love, in our ability, that it's already here. So as we're breathing with our eyes closed, I'd like to ask you to place all of your hands over your heart as I lead you through this exercise. Before we start, a couple seconds, I just want you to imagine an image that brings love to your heart, whatever it is. You just imagine that image. And as we begin, taking a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. With those beautiful hands over your heart, feel that sacred beat, that beautiful heart, that eternal flame as it expands within your chest. each breath in and each breath out. And now imagining that beautiful image that you both so love. Place that into your heart like a seed. And imagine that feeling expanding within your chest. Like a sacred flame that is growing. Allow that breath, that visualization to expand it through your whole shoulders and neck. As if this feeling is growing and expanding down your arms and back. This beautiful sensation of love, this image that touches your heart, expands through your hips and the back, down your legs. As if your whole body is expanding in this precious, beautiful, divine sensation of love. Breathe that in. And breathe that out. Expanding it through your mental body, your emotional body, even through your spiritual body. You feel this beautiful love expanding. And as that love has expanded to its highest point, with grace, with gratitude, send that love to a tense part of your body that needs this love. A place that you could feel this love that would completely nourish you, complete you. Feel this love in parts that you need. If it's a hug, if it's a celebration, if it's just being recognized for who you are or what you've accomplished, breathe that love in and breathe that love out. Allowing that sensation to now fill this whole room up. To fill this whole house up. To fill this whole town up. As if your love within your beautiful sacred heart is filling this whole state and country up. Visualizing your sacred flame within your heart is filling this whole world. As you breathe this in, allowing every cell, every electron, every atom to be dissolved in this love, to be embraced in this love, to be complete in this love. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out as you slowly come back to this beautiful city, to this beautiful country, this beautiful town. Slowly coming back to this beautiful sacred space. Slowly coming back to your sacred vessel. Breathing in and breathing out. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. The power of love is a gift that's within each of our hearts. And we can embrace it at any moment, any space, at any time throughout the day. You all know this already. I'm just reminding you of the simplicity and ease of it. It is the gift that we're being called to awaken in this moment, to live through our hearts, to be through our hearts, and most important, to allow our hearts to be the presence, the greatness, and the beauty that we all are. So thank you guys all for being here and honoring us on this sacred day.
So, and we have that back again. So as we wrap our beautiful service, I ask you to stand up, please. Let us bring our hands together, and we're going to mind our live stream here. So we kind of don't clock it. Mommy, come in. It's my mom. So we're waiting for Kelly. No, Kelly's here. Is somebody going to the bathroom?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, as we close this circle on this Sunday, March 1st, it's such a wonderful gift to enter a first energy, because it always gives us the opportunity to start. Just like every day is the start of a brand new day, a brand new experience, a brand new way where we can expand and explore and discover and bring the newness again. Each day, give us the opportunity to present from our I am presence that which is here to be embraced. And when we have a month that starts, it's a whole month of March. Okay. So it's a whole month of March we have. As we are wrapping up this winter energy in 19 days to be exact, March 19th, in our side of the world here, 11:50 p.m., spring equinox. So we have 19 days as we're slowly coming up from that dark degree inner space, that beautiful place where it's the inside, where we can bring the inner world to the outside, with the inner discovery, the inner presence, the inner gifts from the falls and the rise. And how magnificent is that? How incredible is that? How incredible is it that as we were toddlers, before we became toddlers, how many times we fell before we could walk? We held hands, and some of us as parents, we let our little ones walk and watch them fall and fall and fall, just so that they can be rejoiced and stand up and walk again, and feeling that great joy inside of themselves, and we get to witness and celebrate with them. So as we hold these hands, maybe hold each other's hands in our so-called fall, which is a gift also, as is the rise. They're both part of divine plan. We cannot accept one without the other. Maybe embrace it and embrace it all. Maybe embrace the goo. I so embraced the goo that was removed from me from my ear a couple of days ago because I feel so liberated.
There was a lot of it.
There was a lot of it, yes. Why do I have such a funny? No. But I so appreciate and everything else that came with it. Maybe embrace the song of Gaia, the song of Earth, because it is in this space inward that we can go into and feel, sense, experience, hear, and heart the song of Gaia's also fall in the way she rises as we are witnessing the miracle of sanctuary. As we hold each other's hands and as we breathe into our hearts, we breathe in the one heart, the one love, the one spark, the one light that created all of us, that blessed us all, shines light upon all of us, and we are here to radiate and shine its light back in the reflection of that truth. May we embrace these debris inside, because as we forgive them, love them, bless them, we allow them to be released and resurrected. So more of this beautiful illumination from the ray of the wisdom, from the experience that's touched us so in the core, come forward and shine its radiance. Maybe remember we're one. We have certainly not figured this at all, but we have figured some of it, and that's pretty great. And we got a whole lot more to discover. Isn't that wonderful? So to that I say yes. To life I say yes. To love I say yes. To light I say yes. To joy I say yes. To change I say yes. To expansion I say yes. To resurrection I say yes. To ascension I say yes. To freedom I say yes. Abundance I say yes. And to celebration I say yes. You can say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for saying yes. And to our beautiful guests, we say yes and
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
And to our beautiful guests, beloved, we say yes. Thank you. As we embrace and say yes to all others who are awaiting their beloved, as they embrace their hearts so much easier, so that the beloved from within materializes on the outside. So happy Sunday, fun day, joyful celebration day. May you take anything that bless you today and enjoy with others today. And today is an extra celebration for some of us in the community with Rise Well-Being, a center we collaborated quite a bit. Michael taught the Awakening Your Power through Shamanic Journey last night. I was blessed to collaborate. And today, after here, we'll be there later today. Some of you will be joining, and we're celebrating, and maybe always celebrate each other. And for the honor of today, March 1st, and that spring energy, just appreciating that we've gone through so much, but on the other side of it almost, we have the fairy cards. Look, the Earth Angel fairy cards. So read your message today. See what the message has. And the booklet is out as well. So thank you, Michael. Yeah. And see what message of the fairies is for you. Take a picture of it and work with it. They were blessed before they were placed down. And yeah, and just really take it in and share it forward. And as we finish this, we also invite all of you, Tuesday nights, we have our free silent meditation. Right here, it's also on live stream, and it's open up in many other places. Rise also has an in-person session in Toronto, a home, private home that they can host this. South Carolina is open. There are different places that are opening. Here it's open. It's a free 30-minute gathering, just like this vision of the highest love vibration. That's all. We're sitting in 30 minutes and holding the vibration of the highest love, the greatest gift. So join with us from wherever you are.
If you want to take a picture of your card, feel free. One of the biggest things, what you feel from here, no matter how you express it, just know that you're carrying a very high, beautiful frequency. It can be a smile, it can be a hug, it can be walking someone across the road. However you choose, just pass this energy. You know that part of this is to ignite the light and love, not only within us, but within our communities and society. And so this is a great opportunity. It's a beautiful day. Whatever you do, just
Keep moving it forward.
out, however you
And
want.
so it can vibrate even deeper in you, open up even more in you, and bless everybody else that needs it.
And by yourself, bless the trees, bless the
Bless it.
sun, whatever you do. Thank you guys for being here.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll have our next SSSS in actually 3 weeks rather than 4 weeks. So know that, and we'll announce our guests very shortly. And thank you so much. And as we leave, we always have everybody hug from both sides and complete this energy to make sure this energy vibrates and continues forward. So thank you so much, especially all of our new beautiful ones that joined us today.
One more thing, Bill would like to
If
say.
anybody wants a copy of the Taylor Made Poet chant along with an audio, see me. I'll get your name and email address, and I'll send that to you guys.
Perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you. And if you send it to me, I'll send it to everybody.
Okay, you can do that. Okay,
Perfect.
perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you, live stream family. So much love to all of you. Yay.